Story 1 of 8. NSW Police scrutiny over Bondi terror attack security failures and Royal Commission findings. NSW Police scrutiny over Bondi terror attack security failures and Royal Commission findings. Here's what every outlet agrees on. The Bondi terror attack occurred on December 14, 2025, during the Chinooka by the Sea event, killing 15 people and injuring over 40. The Royal Commission on Anti-Semitism and Social Cohesion released an interim report on April 30, 2026, with 14 recommendations, including 5 in a confidential section. NSW police officers assigned to patrol the Chinooka by the Sea event were told there was no need to stay the entire duration of the event, despite CSG NSW requesting police resources for the full duration. The community security group NSW, CSG NSW, emailed NSW Police on December 8, 2025, stating the security threat level for the Jewish community was high and requested police assistance for the entirety of the event. NSW Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon stated that there was a policing response, a risk assessment was conducted, and roving police were present in the area on the evening of the attack. But not all outlets told the same story. ABC and SMH state that NSW Police did not produce a written risk assessment for the event, while NSW Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon claims there was a risk assessment conducted. ABC and Newscomau state that 3 police officers were on duty during the attack, but SMH does not explicitly mention the number of officers present at the event. Newscomau states that NSW Police said the event organizer was responsible for security, while ABC and SMH imply that police were expected to provide significant security support despite the organizer's role. This story was covered by ABC News, news.com.au, and Sydney Morning Herald. Story 2 of 8. One Nation volunteer assaults Liberal senator over phone grab in Far by-election clash. One Nation volunteer assaults Liberal senator over phone grab in Far by-election clash. Here's what every outlet agrees on. One Nation volunteer grabbed Liberal Senator James Patterson's phone during a confrontation outside a polling booth in Albury on the 6th of May, 2026, Wednesday. The incident involved a dispute over One Nation candidate David Farley's past support for Labour and his endorsement of independent Michelle Milthorpe in the 2025 election. David Farley acknowledged the incident in a Facebook statement on the 6th of May, 2026, condemning aggression and offering to cooperate with police if the Liberal Party deemed it necessary. One Nation leader Pauline Hanson publicly apologised to Patterson on Sky News on the 6th of May, 2026 evening, later walked back by Chief of Staff James Ashby. James Ashby accused Patterson of weaponising Farley's political history, calling him a lying prick in a Sky News interview. But not all outlets told the same story. SMH states the volunteer was dismissed and sent home immediately, while Newscomau does not mention this specific action. SMH reports Farley called Patterson to apologise, but Newscomau only mentions Ashby and Farley apologising to Patterson collectively. Newscomau claims Ashby's apology was personal and immediate, while SMH frames it as a public apology later walked back. This story was covered by news.com.au and Sydney Morning Herald. Story 3 of 8. Manchester City win WSL title after Arsenal draw with Brighton. Manchester City win WSL title after Arsenal draw with Brighton. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Manchester City won the Women's Super League, WSL, title for the first time in 10 years. The title was secured on the 7th of May, 2026, local time, after Arsenal drew 1-1 with Brighton and Hove Albion. Manchester City manager Andre Jeglitz praised the team, saying helping guide this team to the WSL title is something I will never forget. Fuka Tsunoda scored Brighton's equalising goal in the 62nd minute, ABC, or before half-time, Guardian. Arsenal had 11 points fewer than City at the start of the final matchday and needed a win to stay in the title race. But not all outlets told the same story. ABC states Arsenal were 11 points behind at the start of the night, while Guardian does not specify the exact point gap but confirms Arsenal needed a win to stay in the race. ABC says Fuka Tsunoda scored just before half-time, while Guardian says she scored before half-time without specifying the exact minute. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 4 of 8. PSG defeat Bayern Munich to advance to Champions League final vs Arsenal. PSG defeat Bayern Munich to advance to Champions League final vs Arsenal. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, secured a 1-1 draw at Bayern Munich to win the Champions League semi-final 6-5 on aggregate, advancing to the final against Arsenal. Ousmane Dembélé scored PSG's first goal in the 3rd minute of the second leg, meeting a Kvaratskhelia cutback unmarked. Harry Kane scored Bayern's equalising goal in stoppage time, 89th minute, to make it 1-1, but PSG's aggregate lead was sufficient to advance. The Champions League final will be played on May 30, 2026, in Budapest. Manuel Neuer made key saves for Bayern, including a one-handed stop from João Neves and a block from Kvaratskhelia. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian describes PSG's first leg lead as 5-4, while ABC states it as 5-4 but does not explicitly confirm the exact first leg score breakdown. Both agree on aggregate. The Guardian emphasizes PSG's aptitude for the dirtier work and defensive discipline, while ABC focuses more on PSG's defensive solidity without detailing tactical nuances. The Guardian mentions PSG's Luis Enrique needing at least 3 goals to advance, while ABC does not reference this quote or prediction. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 5 of 8. Jeffrey Epstein's alleged suicide note and related cover-up allegations unsealed by court. Jeffrey Epstein's alleged suicide note and related cover-up allegations unsealed by court. Here's what every outlet agrees on. A federal judge unsealed Jeffrey Epstein's alleged suicide note on May 7, 2026, after the New York Times petitioned the court in White Plains, New York. The note was found by Epstein's cellmate, Nicholas Tartaglian, after Epstein's first suicide attempt on July 23, 2019, at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City. Epstein was found dead in his jail cell on August 10, 2019, with his death ruled a suicide by the medical examiner. The note reads, "They investigated me for months, found nothing. It is a treat to be able to choose one's time to say goodbye. Watcher want me to do, bust out crying, no fun, not worth it." U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick testified before the House Oversight Committee on May 7, 2026, regarding his ties to Epstein, including a 2012 visit to Epstein's private Caribbean island, Little St. James. But not all outlets told the same story. The New York Times and ABC mention Tartaglian as a former police officer serving a life sentence, but only ABC specifies he was convicted of killing 4 people. News Kamau and ABC state Lutnick visited Epstein's island in 2012, but only News Kamau explicitly notes he was accompanied by his wife and kids. News Kamau claims Lutnick found it unsettling how an Epstein assistant knew he was traveling through the U.S. Virgin Islands, while ABC does not mention this detail. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, and news.com.au. Story 6 of 8. Pussy Riot protests Russian pavilion at Venice Biennale 2026, sparking diplomatic tensions. Pussy Riot protests Russian pavilion at Venice Biennale 2026, sparking diplomatic tensions. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Pussy Riot staged a protest at the Russian pavilion at the Venice Biennale on May 7, 2026, using pink balaclavas, flares, and punk music, with slogans like "Blood is Russia's art" and "Curated by Putin, dead bodies included." Police prevented protesters from entering the Russian pavilion, which was temporarily closed during the protest. Nadia Tolokonikova, a founding member of Pussy Riot, led the protest and stated that only art by Russian dissidents imprisoned for ridiculous charges should be shown. The jury for the Golden Lion Prizes resigned en masse before the Biennale, citing refusal to consider entries from countries with leaders subject to international arrest warrants, including Russia and Israel. The Art Not Genocide Alliance, ANGA, staged a protest outside the Israeli pavilion on May 7, 2026, demanding its cancellation over Israel's war in Gaza. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian states the protest occurred on May 7, 2026, while the ABC article is dated May 6, 2026, but both cover the same event. The Guardian mentions a diplomatic row escalating over Russia's involvement, while the ABC does not explicitly mention this escalation or the EU stance beyond the grant cut. The Guardian reports that the Russian pavilion was temporarily closed for about an hour, while the ABC states it was blockaded for about 30 minutes. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 7 of 8. Travel experts share underwhelming zero-star tourist experiences globally. Travel experts share underwhelming zero-star tourist experiences globally. Here's what every outlet agrees on. The Mona Lisa at the Louvre requires €32, $52, for non-EU visitors and €22 for EU residents as of 2026. 80% of Louvre visitors follow arrows directing them to the Mona Lisa. Land's End in England offers a golf adventure costing £21.50, $40.57, and a Wallace and Gromit attraction for £16.50. The Beatles' ashram in Rishikesh, India, is described as derelict with overgrown gates and a lingering smell of urine. The Welcome to Las Vegas sign is located on an unremarkable part of the Strip and requires a 45-minute queue for photos. But not all outlets told the same story. The Venice of Peru, Belén market in Iquitos, is described as a floating market in guidebooks, but the article in Fiji is cut off and incomplete, while SMH does not provide a full description. The Beatles' ashram is described as not technically open to the public in SMH, but Fiji does not explicitly state this. The Equator Park's tour guide is described as saying GPS inaccuracies caused the misplacement in SMH, but Fiji does not mention this reason. This story was covered by Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Story 8 of 8. Australia's Pacific security deals with Fiji and Vanuatu amid China's influence. Australia's Pacific security deals with Fiji and Vanuatu amid China's influence. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Australia's Foreign Minister Penny Wong and Pacific Affairs Minister Pat Conroy are visiting Fiji, Suva, from May 5 to 8, 2026, to advance the Vuvail Union Security and Economic Agreement. China's pushback blocked Australia's 2025 Nacamal Security Agreement with Vanuatu, leading to its delay and Vanuatu's pursuit of a separate Namil development deal with China. China gifted Vanuatu $86 million in 2025 to renovate the Prime Minister's office, part of broader infrastructure funding that influenced Vanuatu's stance on Australia's security deals. Transnational crime, particularly drug smuggling, is identified as Fiji's top security threat after climate change, a focus of Australia's engagement. Australia has previously signed security agreements with Tuvalu, Faleppili Union, Nauru, and upgraded ties with Papua New Guinea to a formal alliance, framing its Pacific strategy as countering China's influence. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian states Vanuatu's Nacamal agreement was blocked in September 2025, while Newscamau implies the delay occurred after China's 2025 pushback but does not specify a month. The Guardian mentions a 2022 secretive security agreement between the Solomon Islands and China that caught Australia and New Zealand off guard, but Newscamau does not reference this specific timeline or detail. This story was covered by The Guardian and news.com.au.